Yo, what up, crypto fam? So, I want to check in with everybody. How's it going? Some big news that's been happening recently. Engine Wallet looks like it's going to be the native wallet on the Samsung Galaxy S10, which is pretty cool. And I think they've got a bright future, and that thing just popped. I didn't even sell any though, actually. I'm just going to hold it. But in addition to that, it looks like the HTC Exodus 1 is rolling out pretty soon, and they're going to have Opera and Brave browser as the native browsers installed, which is excellent. And Opera, they're gonna have micro payments of cryptocurrencies, some of those functionalities implemented on their browser. And then Brave, as you all know, basic attention token will be that's going to be big, and you saw that pop off today too. So some big news around phones, which is crazy. And Electronium, not a huge fan of them, but whatever to increase mass adoption, they just released MT1's $80 smartphone that they're releasing initially in South Africa, which is pretty cool. It's cloud mining. It's not really mining. It's essentially just a continual airdrop for your, I guess essentially for your cell phone mini hash rate. But yeah, the big topic I want to talk about is XRP. They're getting added to Coinbase. And I mean, they got added today to Coinbase Pro, which is, I thought was going to have a larger impact on the price RP. But either way, this is going to be a very, very easy fiat to crypto gateway for XRP. And I mean, XRP, love it or hate it, it's going to be around for the next couple of years, and it's going to be a powerhouse. It's definitely one of those blue chips, so I think it's pretty undervalued even at this point. So take that for what you will, but I hold a decent amount of XRP. It's my second biggest holding next to Bitcoin, so I'm bullish on it. Although I may not agree with all the centralized aspects of it, but hey, it's efficient to use, and it's gonna be around. So, but yeah, on top of that, I just think that we're about due to run up to around that mid 5K, potentially up to that 6K resistance fairly soon over the next couple of weeks. I feel like the sentiment has switched to bullish, and I keep on saying that I believe we hit bottom back in December, and I think we have. So eventually we're going to have to test that resistance, and I think it's coming soon. But I wanted to talk about this whole concept of the blue chip cryptocurrencies and tokens. Obviously, you got Bitcoin, Ethereum, XRP. Those aren't going anywhere. The institutions are looking at this whole list of 2,000 cryptocurrencies, and they're going to look at the ones that are most adopted first, that have the least risk out of an already risky asset class in their mind. So basically, they're going to be looking at the top quarter of the first page of CoinMarketCap. So that's with a few exceptions. But yeah, I think you should hold, I mean, not financial advice, but I think you should hold basically every single coin in that top 20 to 30 I think the ones that'll be owned by these larger institutions and funds will be those coins. And so I think Bitcoin, ETH, XRP, Bitcoin Cash. Yes, I think Bitcoin Cash is... I like Bitcoin Cash. You know, it gets a lot of negative attention because of the people who are involved in it, but you know what? I like Roger Ver. I think he's done a lot of good things for Bitcoin in the early days, and he's someone that ideologically I'm aligned with. He wants freedom for the world, and he personally believes that Bitcoin Cash is that means to an end. And you know what? Bitcoin Cash is good. It's a good coin. Like, it shares the same history as Bitcoin, so technically, yes, it could, and it's on the same hashing algorithm, the SHA-256. So technically, if hashing increases to the point where it's higher on Bitcoin Cash than on Bitcoin BTC, there could be a strong argument that that could potentially become the real Bitcoin chain eventually, if that happens. I mean, I don't know if that's ever going to happen though. But regardless of that whole argument, I mean, Bitcoin Cash is doing a lot of good things. They, you know, with their kind of unrestricted block size limit, they don't have a limit. They're just going to continually increase it if they need to, as that's what they're saying at least. But yeah, with that, it allows them to process a lot more transactions per second on chain. And because of that, they're issuing tokens now via wormhole protocol. And so it's essentially Ethereum now. Like, I just checked out the badger.bitcoin.com, and that's a wallet where you can store tokens that are built on Bitcoin Cash. I just watched a interview, Crypto Lark with Roger Ver, and check out badger.bitcoin.com, and you know, post your address in the comments of Crypto Lark's video, and Roger's gonna send you some Nakamoto coins, so some Nakamoto tokens. But yeah, the interface looks a lot like MetaMask. I think they kind of copied that. But yeah, I think Bitcoin Cash is a big future. Regardless of it, you know, whether if it's considered the real Bitcoin or not, which I don't think it really ever will, but it's got very cheap and near instantaneous transactions. And it's got a very, very secure network because, I mean, even though the hash rate is way lower than Bitcoin, it's still got a pretty large hash rate, and it's huge in Asia from what I understand, and that's where cryptocurrencies are big in general. So, and they're actually using them there for commerce. So, I think Bitcoin Cash ABC, at least, has a pretty big future. And you know, Bitcoin SV, I'm holding a little bit of that too, just because it holds some of those same properties as Bitcoin Cash, and that it's large block sizes, and you can essentially put all sorts of content, videos, photos, books. You can put that into a Bitcoin SV block. So I'm chain agnostic. I just want to see, you know, I just want to see this cryptocurrency new asset class succeed in everyday use, and it's going to have to be used as commerce at some point. So, and we've already seen the potential of smart contracts. So I think Bitcoin Cash, ABC, what they're doing there with smart contracts and inexpensive transaction fees, I think they can be considered a blue chip. Now, in addition to that, sorry, I didn't mean to get onto that tangent with Bitcoin Cash, but I just watched that video, so it's kind of fresh in my mind. But in addition to that, I think Stellar Lumens is definitely a big one, with that whole IBM worldwide service that's essentially an XRP competitor. I think that's going to be huge. Stellar is another one of those cryptocurrencies that is super, super fast, cheap transactions. They have, smart contracts. Well, at least you can issue tokens on it, like smart lands on their platform. It's STO issuance platform. Anyways, Stellar I think has a large future. Jed McCaleb, he's a genius. Ethereum Classic, I think that is, I think that's going to be one to keep an eye out for. I know they just had a 51% attack, and it doesn't look good, but they're going to be the chain used for Internet of Things, and they're heavily backed by Grayscale, which is a powerhouse in the space. So I think Ethereum Classic is going to be a good one to have. And my previous video, I was talking about Maker. Maker's going to be a big that I'm in. I think is a blue chip, one that these institutions will look at as well. Other than that, I think that for smart contract platforms, you got to take a look at EOS. Obviously, that one is pretty highly scalable with the delegated proof of stake consensus mechanism. So I think that has a point of differentiation from Ethereum, and the fact that it's a different consensus algorithm. It is more centralized, yes, but it's a trade-off. Same thing goes for Neo with their delegated Byzantine fault tolerance consensus, DBFT. That's another point of differentiation from Ethereum. So I think Neo is also a good one. And with that, VB Ontology, I think Ontology is going to be massive as well, and I'm staking some right now. In addition to Ontology and all the aforementioned ones, I think Basic Attention Token is one to hold on to for 2019. I think that's going to be big. I think Brave Browser is going to really kind of emerge as a Google Chrome competitor, as one of the top browsers. And when people understand that they're going to be able to earn Basic Attention Token for opting into watching ads, and I think that could really be a big one. Now, in addition to those, I think that some of the other top 2019 blue chip cryptocurrencies to look at for 2019 and beyond. I'm not so sure on Tron and Cardano. I need to see more. I think Tron's got out right now, but it's a lot of marketing. And with that whole marketing hype, they've been able to raise a lot of money and have created some really great apps, and like Tron Bet and Tron dogs and stuff like that. So I actually like what they're doing, but I'm not convinced that they're going to be here as one of the blue chips for the future. That remains to be seen. I do hold some Tron. I hold basically every single token in the top 50. I'll just say that. Not a whole lot of each, but I like to spread it out because some of these are going to succeed, some of these are not, obviously. So, but yeah, Cardano, I do hold some Cardano as well, but same thing with that. I believe in that one more than I do Tron, but I need to see a little more development and applications, and I need to see more developers on there. I mean, they've got the Daedalus wallet, and that's really all I'm familiar with that Cardano's put out. But I'm trying to think of some of the other big ones that I think are going to have a great... Theta token. I've been in that for a long time, and I'm accumulating that. Anticipating this mainnet that's launching on March 15th. Whew, it is mooning. It is mooning, and I think it's going to continue to moon until right before mainnet launch. And I think I'll probably have a dump. But I'm very excited about Theta. And on March 15th, when Theta goes from its ERC20 token to mainnet launch, you're going to be airdropped 5 T fuel per each Theta that you hold. So I suggest you all check out Sliver TV, which is the essentially parent company, if you will, for Theta token. And on that site, they've got essentially like testnet set up for streaming, and there's streamers on there right now playing games, and as you watch them, you accumulate coins where you can enter into different giveaways, like crates for, there might be some skins in there, or might be some Theta in there. And as you're providing your bandwidth, you accumulate T fuel, and this T fuel can be used to tip tip the streamers or whatever. So it's kind of like that, the whole NeoGas dual token model, which I think is underratedly revolutionary. It's the first of its kind, and now you see Ontology. Obviously they have on-chain ties, so Ontology is doing that, but then you saw VeChain do that with VThor. Now you're going to see Theta do it with T-Fuel. So I think that's going to really be a more prevalent model of tokenomics moving forward. And I think Neo really deserves some credit for inventing that model. I don't think they get... I've never heard of anyone giving them any credit for that. So that's another reason why I really like Neo. And they're going to have a ways to go until 3.0, so you got to be patient with that one to see how that one works. But so in addition to those, I really like Waves as well. Waves is Russian originated smart contract platform, and they've got a great DEX and a very, very easy, simplified way to issue tokens, and it's pretty cheap. I can't remember exactly off the bat what it is, but very cheap, and they've got a fairly low transaction fees, and they're quick, and I really think Waves has got a bright future. Some of these privacy coins I think have a decent future, at least in the short term. I forgot about Litecoin too. Litecoin's going to be absolutely massive. That's my 4th highest holding right now, Litecoin. It goes Bitcoin, XRP, ETH, Litecoin. And then I think Nexo, which is more of a speculative one for me. But look into Nexo. I think they're going to be big, but maybe not a blue chip. But then I hold a lot of Ontology. Actually, it's Ontology. Ontology is my 5th highest holding. I also hold a decent amount of Maker and Ethereum Classic and Theta. Theta's up there. Yeah, so, and then some Neo too. Those are kind of my top holdings. Anyways, but I'm concerned about the longevity of privacy coins. If I could see governments not wanting those, and so although they have no control over who uses these, I don't know, I could see them heavily censoring it to the point where it's not adopted. So that's the one concern I have for privacy coins. But with that said, I really like Monero because it's got the built-in privacy and the ring signatures that's native to the protocol. So, you know, I think that one's my favorite privacy coin. I also like Dash and Zcash, and those, I believe, both of them you can turn the privacy option off, which that's the more regulatory friendly version of privacy coins. Monero I could see getting heavily censored, but Dash and Zcash I think will stick around. And Dash, I really love their marketing scheme. It's really, really, like, they did a really good job of getting mainstream adoption in Venezuela. I mean, the people down there needed it. Them and only a couple other cryptocurrencies are really kind of focused on them. I believe Digibyte was another one. I think Nano maybe at least help some people out with some donations. But yeah, I think a lot of people are using Dash down there, and that's due to their foundation and team, you know, really emphasizing that. And this past NFL season, I was on FanDuel a lot, you know, doing some daily fantasy, and Dash was out there every single week on FanDuel. They had a giveaway, a Dash giveaway, free entry every single week, and unfortunately I never won, but I entered it every single time, and they're getting their name out there. So I think Dash is going to be big. As far as some of this new Mimblewimble technology like Beam and Grin, I hold a little bit, but I don't really like the tokenomics of Grin because there's no halvenings involved in that, so it's just continually inflating at the same rate forever, kind of like Dogecoin. So I don't really see the store of value property in either of those. But so I'm a little more bullish on Grin for a long-term investment. On Beam, that is. But yeah, those are kind of like my big ones for 2019, and yeah, I can't believe I forgot Litecoin earlier on, but I think Litecoin is going to be huge, because I think like Lightning Network or not, it's going to be heavily pushed out there. With companies like MasterCard backing Blockstream, and Jack Dorsey really in favor of Lightning Network, and Elizabeth Stark, having that relationship. I think Lightning Network is going to be absolutely massive, so get your Bitcoin, get your Litecoin. There's some other cryptos that are going to have Lightning Network interoperability from what I understand, including Waves, which is kind of cool, and Bitcoin Cash eventually will be able to integrate Lightning Network on there because they're adopting Schnorr signatures pretty soon. So, but yeah, like atomic swaps will be pretty easy from what I understand on the Lightning Network between Bitcoin and Litecoin. And Litecoin's really getting their name out there. You know, the recent UFC fight, maybe a month ago. Yeah, Litecoin's logo is right out there in the octagon. So I think there's a lot of eyes on that. A lot of eyes on Dash when they're on the FanDuel app. So I think 2019 is going to be a good year. It's going to be a good year. And I am accumulating as much as I can right now. And I encourage you to contemplate doing the same. There's just too many good things going on right now and too many bad things going on with the traditional economic system for me to be bearish on the prices right now. Fundamentally, crypto's at an all-time high. Price will reflect that at some point soon, in my opinion. So, with that being said, I hope you all have a good evening. Accumulate, hodl, and think outside the blocks. Peace.